Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about a very special story host. Naeem Sahib, the story of Karachi's most wanted criminal, Naeem Sharri. What is his story? How did he become a gangster and what all did he do in his life? Naeem Uswa But Sahib, we have done several programs regarding the law and order situation in Karachi, particularly focusing on 2 decades, the 1980s and the 1990s. During that period, 3 major operations took place, 2 during the Pakistan People's Party (PPP) government and 1 during Nawaz Sharif's tenure, which was relatively mild. But 3 operations did happen. This was the very era when the Lyari gang war started as well. It is the same gang war that inspired the Indian film Durandar. During these 2 decades, while Karachi witnessed a game of blood and fire, the residents of Karachi were introduced to anti-peace activities. In that environment, notable figures emerged who gained international notoriety in the underworld. The ethnic riots, factional conflicts, and gang wars were most prominent during these 2 decades, the 80s and 90s. This was the same era when body-bagged corpses were found, when people's throats were slit, heads severed from bodies, and body parts were brutally and ruthlessly dumped after committing murders. It was also during this period that several people became famous who had received training in India and Afghanistan. Trained individuals from cross-border terrorist training centers were responsible for destroying Karachi's peace during these 2 decades. The person you mentioned, Naeem Sharri, his full name was Sheikh Mohammed Naeem. Regarding the surname Sharri, 2 or 3 explanations and stories came to light. Some people said it was because he was mischievous, Sharardi, or spread mischief, Shar. In the media, his brother Javed was also written as Sharri. Whether it was a clan name or a title given due to his mischievous nature, whatever the case may be, that stands on its own. However, one thing is remarkable. As big a criminal as he was, the uncrowned king of the crime world, no one would believe that he was extremely thin, agile, intelligent, and cunning. I was talking to a journalist who saw his dead body and he told me, we couldn't believe that the person we had heard so many stories about was this same Naeem Sharri, so thin and frail. He was a symbol of fear and terror for Karachi and its people. He had 3 titles: Chalawa, the phantom/elusive one, mysterious, people called him mysterious, alien creature, Kalai Makluk. There was a famous saying here that an alien creature did the job or joined the missing persons list. His name was also associated with being an alien creature. Another important fact that very few people know, he was the person who introduced the concept of dumping bodies in burlap sacks, Boriban Lash. Host. How does someone become a criminal? What circumstances in life drive a person to the point of dumping bodies in sacks? Naeem Uswa But Sahib, there is a famous proverb that a person is not born a criminal from his mother's womb. Every child is born on pure human nature fitra. Nature is against crime. It is the circumstances that turn a person into a professional criminal, the circumstances he went through. There is one specific incident that served as the U-turn in his life, the single event that turned Sheikh Naeem into Naeem Sharri. Before I tell you about that, let me share 2 or 3 very important things. Besides the 3 titles I mentioned, there was a 4th aspect. He had many traits, he was quick-witted, and he was a master of disguise. Host, he used to escape from the police. Naeem Uswa, not just the police. 8 law enforcement agencies were pursuing him, and he was the Karachi Don who used to slip away right under their noses by tricking them. Host, they say he used to walk right past them and they wouldn't even realize it. Naeem Uswa, he would meet them, talk to them, shake hands, and walk away in different disguises. Once he took a bicycle while they kept guard and cordoned off the area all night. Oh, and another thing. He is the only criminal in the history of Pakistan for whom thousands, not just 1,000 but thousands of cordons garrow were laid. Sometimes his house was cordoned off, sometimes his brothers' houses. There were 11 brothers and sisters in total. They raided his in-laws' houses and a shrine, Shah Noorani Shrine, where he frequently visited due to his faith. For this single man, across numerous places, departments, offices, quarters, and bungalows, from small quarters to grand mansions, the police, rangers, army, and 4 or 5 other agencies worked to capture him. Head money was placed on him 3 times, 500,000 PKR, 1 million PKR, and 2 million PKR. In 10 days before his death, it was raised to 5 million PKR. 3 times in routine and the 4th time under a planned operation. I will tell you those details later. 4 times a price was put on his head, 5, 10, 20, host, and then 50 lakhs Naeem Uswa. 50 lakhs in the 90s, and in the 80s it was 5, 10, and 20 lakhs. Host, Naeem Sahib. There is an accusation often made by people in Karachi that we Punjabis talk about these topics without knowing the actual facts. In today's podcast, please tell us the real facts. What did Naeem Sharri actually do, and under what circumstances did he become a criminal? Naeem Uswa, but Sahib, first understand this. He was born in 1973. His late father, Sheikh Abdul Razak, worked in civil aviation, the force monitoring airports. Naeem was born into a poor family in a tiny two-room quarter. 11 siblings and 2 parents, a family of 13 living in 2 tiny rooms. You couldn't even call them rooms, they were tiny cell-like spaces. As the saying goes, 2 small cells with neither width nor length. If this is living, then dying is pointless. Those were the conditions in which he was born. Sheikh Abdul Razak raised them with great difficulty. Naeem wasn't highly educated. But according to his brother Javed Sharri, Naeem was the smartest and most clever among all the siblings. When he was in the 8th grade, he took up a job. And where did he work? At the workplace of the elder brother of Javed Sharri's father-in-law. He started working there to bring some money home for his parents and siblings. According to his family, he was very soft-hearted. To be a criminal, one needs to be stone-hearted and ruthless, but he was very empathetic and caring toward others. Host, while he was in the 8th grade. Naeem Uswa, yes, in the 8th grade. Even later, he showed empathy. Now people say he was in the MQM. Host, did he have any connection with MQM? Naeem Uswa, 2 of his brothers were in MQM. Out of 11 siblings, 2 were active in MQM. MQM was gaining momentum back then, but initially he was strongly opposed to MQM. Once, during an MQM meeting, he went and threw 8 crackers right into the gathering, some inside, some outside. Host, just out of mischief? Naeem Uswa, that was his mischievous nature, that's why he was called Sharri. His motive wasn't to spread terror or fear, he just wanted to prove his own strength and dominance. So he threw them at the MQM gathering. Later, his father retired and received his retirement payout. They rented a bigger house in Shah Faisal Colony No. 5. They lived in rented houses all their lives. Most gangsters end up the same way, but the level of poverty this family lived in, even after his death, no one ever looked back to help them. After his father's retirement, they moved to Shah Faisal Colony No. 5. Host. And up until this point, Naeem Sharri was just Naeem Sheikh. There was no major criminal record yet. Naeem Uswa, nothing major yet. The small incidents like throwing firecrackers or street fights among youngsters, because of those minor disputes he landed in jail. Some people say that jail life made him a hardened criminal, and there are many such examples in Pakistan. Host, it opened up his potential. Naeem Uswa, yes. In Pakistan, there are many examples, especially gangsters in Karachi who went to jail. Some lived like kings inside, but jail became the reason they turned into hardcore criminals. Jail is not a place of reformation or a lesson-learning space for criminals. It acts as a breeding ground for their criminal careers generally in Pakistan and specifically in Karachi's 3 main prisons. Host. When he was in jail, an incident involving his mother took place. Naeem Uswa, that exact incident triggered his descent into major crime. In crime, fearlessness, courage, and a sharp mind all play a role. While he was in jail, during one of his court hearings, he came for 3 hearings before being released. A friend came to meet him and whispered in his ear that some men from MQM Hakiki had misbehaved with his mother and acted disrespectfully toward her. Host, which made him furious. Naeem Uswa, extremely angry. Host, did he take revenge on those people? Naeem Uswa, what a revenge he took. Once released, he came home and confirmed it with his mother. Mother, who did this? She named the people. They were from MQM Hakiki. He went straight to their office in Shah Faisal Colony and opened indiscriminate fire. In jail, he had befriended 3 or 4 criminals and acquired weapons through them. He didn't buy his first weapon himself, he got it through those prison contacts. That is the dark side of prison life. You meet criminals who provide you with drugs, weapons, courage, and targets. Using that weapon, he opened fire at the office, killing several MQM Hakiki members sitting inside. A charge sheet was filed against him and the police started raiding places to catch him, but he went on the run. Host, they say he came home and told his mother to vacate the house. Naeem Uswa. Yes, he came home and said, "We are no longer safe here. I have avenged the disrespect shown to you by killing their men. We must leave this house immediately." Host, how did the rivals react? Naeem Uswa. The family, his brothers, sister, mother were shocked at how escalated things had become. They quietly shifted to a small house nearby. The rival gang buried their dead, shifted their wounded to hospitals, settled their office affairs, and then attacked Naeem's old house. They set the entire house and all the belongings inside on fire. The family hadn't even moved all their furniture yet. They set the whole house ablaze while shouting aggressive slogans, threatening Naeem Sharri and terrifying his family. It was after this specific incident that the name Naeem Sharri was used for the first time. Following this event, the police force went after Naeem Sharri. A major case was registered, and 2 of his brothers were also named in the case. 2 of his brothers were abroad, but 2 who were in Karachi were named. After this incident, Sheikh Mohammed Naeem officially became Naeem Sharri. Host, Naeem Sahib, do you remember a character from Lahore, Mazhar Tebai? When Sub-Inspector Hamid misbehaved with his mother, Mazhar had a similar reaction. Naeem Uswa. He kidnapped him, threw him in a car, beat him with a pistol butt, shot him, and hung him in a graveyard in Johar town. Host, next to a tree, Naeem Uswa tied to a tree, and then he set him on fire. He killed a living man, and while his body was bleeding, he set him ablaze. Look at both cases, Lahore's Mazhar Tebai and Karachi's Naeem Sharri. Misbehavior with their mothers turned them into extreme gangsters. That was the common trigger for both. Mazhar Tebai went wild and Naeem Sharri went wild, and neither of them stopped after that. If you're interested in my stories, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel so I can keep making more of these for you.